So you think that your past, working on the farm type thing, it in general trained the universal movements that you then used in your sport and then had to rediscover to train people, and now currently to us moderns that don't have that experience?
Yeah, I think what we're doing now is kids don't do chores like we had to. Kids don't get the opportunity to play a variety of sports and just go self-discover themselves, right? And so for us, running around town and doing whatever the hell we want made us better athletes. Because think about it, we learned how to run, we learned how to climb, we learned how to jump, we learned how to move over obstacles. We were able to self-discover basic movement abilities that now are trying to be structured in how they're taught. And now physical education is disappearing. So all those things that we used to learn, when we had physical education as a kid, it was you had to learn all those movement abilities. And then for whatever reason, something shifted and it had to be about learning sport skills first. Right? So you got kids that can't run, but they're asked to dribble a ball.
Right. Or be very specific in their sport application of it.
Right. And so now parents are getting kids into sport. I'm in South Florida now. So I moved from Canada to South Florida, and it's a baseball and tennis mecca. Right? And so these tennis kids are out on the court, some of them are homeschooled now, out on the court 4 to 6 hours a day, in 95-degree Fahrenheit temperatures, and being asked to train sport specifically, but they lack the most basic movement abilities. So when they come to see me, that's the first thing we do, is we have to ascertain, can they even move from point A to point B mechanically efficient? And that translates all the way to the pros. I have colleagues at the professional level that are strength and conditioning coaches that say to me, John, a professional athlete can make real ugly movement look really good. Right? And because mechanically they're actually a disaster because they've become sport specific, right? Whereas all the pro athletes that were in the late 80s and early 90s, most of them played multiple sports, right? And so they didn't need an off season to get strong, right? They were strong because they had structured play to begin with, and they had great movement abilities, and then those movement tasks that they coupled together were a combination of playing all kinds of sports. And that's the problem that we're running into now. So from a strength training standpoint, I don't have the ability to load these kids until they can demonstrate any of those movement abilities and then those movement tasks. We have tennis kids that can't catch a ball. They can hit the hell out of it, but they can't catch it, right? So why would I put anything in your hands if you can't even catch anything, right? And so we have to think, let's look at what we're actually doing from a long-term athlete development standpoint. And that's what kind of my path is on right now, is taking every sport, breaking it down, and showing how to create this concept of programming for every sport on the planet. That's kind of where my passion lies right now, and that's what I spend my spare time when I'm not coaching people, is building these programming systems.
Yeah, that's cool.